What if I told you that the blueprint for our current global chaos was posted on an obscure internet forum months before any of it happened? In mid-2019, we were living normal lives, but a stranger hiding behind the username KFK left us a warning. He claimed to be a time-poor traveler from the year 2060. We laughed. We asked him to prove it, and his very first predictions were the Tokyo Olympics being disrupted and a catastrophic year in 2020. We stopped laughing when 2020 actually hit, but here is the terrifying part. 2020 was just the beginning. The files KFK left behind detail World War III in the Middle East, the collapse of global wealth, and a deliberate deception about the US presidency. He said, "No one will truly believe me, and I won't change anything." He knew we wouldn't listen until it was too late. Today, we are opening the complete, unedited KFK files. Every single question, every chilling answer. Brace yourselves, because our future is his past. Chapter 1: The Arrival and the Proof. On June 22, 2019, KFK appeared on the Chinese forum Douban. The internet immediately bombarded him with questions. Let's look at how he established his identity. Are you a human or a robot? I am a human. What year were you born? 2020. You will be born next year, meaning 2020. The rule of time travel is that you must be at an age when you were not yet born. I will leave here before 2020. Will you fall in love with someone in 2019? My wife was born in 2019. Why did you come to 2019? Because many things are happening on Earth this year. Looking back, this is a turning point for humanity. I came here to take a look, and I want to give some kind reminders to people in 2019. 2019 is a relatively special year, and it is also the year before I was born. A user pointed out that he hadn't given any actual reminders yet. KFK replied that unless an accident happened, he would stay until December 31st, 2019 to witness events with us. Then, they tested his knowledge of near-future events. Will the Chinese women's volleyball team win the championship at the Tokyo Olympics? No, there is an incident with the Tokyo Olympics. Will the 2020 Tokyo Olympics be postponed for a year due to the Wuhan pneumonia virus? Chapter 2: Wealth, Technology, and Everyday Life in 2060. Once the initial shock wore off, people wanted to know about survival, money, houses, and tech. Can you afford to buy a house in 2060? Housing in 2060 is not an important thing. Real estate bubble. When I was born, a house was not a valuable item. Old people talk about expensive houses in the past, but it's hard for me to imagine them. Houses are built with extremely fast tools. Unless the specially wealthy use wood, most people can apply to build their own houses at very low cost. What can I buy with 100 RMB? Do you bring money with you? The currency in 2060 has no RMB. I brought no money because in 2060, paper is a luxury item. All assets will be digitized. I am very happy to be able to use paper in this world. Public transportation? Public transportation in 2060 is free. The daily consumer goods that are expensive are fruits and milk. Only the rich can eat them. Is Apple still the world's largest brand? Apple has been in decline since I was a child. House printing companies, 3D printing, interactive game companies, and virtual reality glasses companies are the three giants in the 2040s to 2050s. Will we still use smartphones? How did mobile communication change? The communication mechanism of time travel is difficult to explain. There will be 6G, 7G, 8G in the future. After 7G, it will no longer be named after G because it has reached another stage. The time is after 2048. What about schools and learning languages? Schools still exist, but the education system is completely different. As for languages, Because of advanced translation devices, learning minor languages like Greek or Hebrew is only for spiritual and historical research, not for communication. Can humans travel to Mars? No, but satellites can approach and orbit. A giant American company has developed an intelligent perspective project. You can experience what you see and hear on Mars. It's like virtual reality, but it's so real, it's like being there yourself. Are there space resources being mined? Space resource extraction is still too costly. Earth's resources are the main focus. Chapter 3: The Global War and the Deliberate Deception. This is where the KFK files get dark. And this is where we have to talk about the time traveler's paradox. Is the US still around? Will Trump be re-elected? The United States still exists. Trump will continue to be re-elected. But he will face immense pressure from relatives and opponents. Many point to this and say KFK was wrong. Trump wasn't re-elected in 2020. But look at another answer he gave about altering time. Your journey has changed the future. So do we have a different future? My form is different from what you understand, so I will not change the future, and no one will truly believe me. But I will be here to remind the person I want to remind. No one will truly believe me. What if KFK gave us a timeline distortion on purpose? If he proved the future flawlessly, he would alter the timeline. He had to give a skewed prediction about the presidency so the masses would doubt him. By the time the real horrors begin, we realize he was right, but it's too late to change the flow of time. And what is that horror? World War III. Are these evil countries you mentioned countries with wars in the future? What is the scale of this war? Are large nuclear weapons used? Where is the war? Global war. It involves two civilizations in the world, and the location is at the junction of 3 continents. It is more terrifying than the use of individual nuclear weapons. I can only say this much. The junction of 3 continents: Europe, Asia, and Africa, the Middle East. Is the living environment in the US okay at that time? Or is it not the #1 power? The air is not better. The #1 power is in the West. The US is the last empire before the war. The European Union is the decisive factor in the war. China and India will become another power in the East. What about Taiwan? Will China unify Taiwan in 2020? No. When will Taiwan return to the mainland? Will there be an event in 2022, 2023? Who is the next leader? KFK was cryptic here, but hinted at a major geopolitical shift before the 2030s, refusing to name the next leader directly. Which country will host the 2032 Summer Olympics? Jakarta. A highly specific prediction for Indonesia. Chapter 4: Disaster, Disease, and Survival. The material world of 2060 is a world that has survived hell. What is the state of the Earth? Are people happy? More anxious, because famine, earthquakes, and wars are very frequent. Many people are nostalgic for the good times from 2000 to 2030. Have humans overcome cancer? Macroscopic cancer is overcome, but superbacteria viruses cannot be overcome, and in the 2050s it caused serious disasters for humans. What impact has Fukushima nuclear radiation in Japan had? Japan will have a larger earthquake, and the capital will have to move. Antarctica is still there. What do we need to guard against? Where should we live? You need to find a suitable place to live in the vast inland, because extreme weather will lead to a situation where many cities are unlivable. He specifically warned against coastal cities after 2030, suggesting inland provinces. When the physical world burns, what does humanity do? KFK left us with a haunting thought about spirituality. What is the greatest technological progress after destruction? After the war, there is no technological progress, but there is spiritual evolution. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. In 2060, people will become full of awe and explore more in the invisible world. Material things are the most undervalued in the past 1,000 years. Does religion still exist? Did you come to preach? Religion continues to exist. People turn to study the relationship between themselves and the universe. And no, I did not come to preach. He confirmed there are no parallel universes. He stated that human nature polarized. Good people became better, evil deeds became worse. The firewall fell globally. Stock markets became meaningless in just 1 hour. And then, just as quietly as he arrived, KFK logged off. I am very glad to meet you on Douban. I believe that since reading this post, this is an extraordinary day. I am very honored to witness the end of 2019 with you. He left us to face 2020 alone. And look at where we are now. The Middle East is boiling. AI and VR are taking over. Was KFK a prophet? A time traveler trying to save a specific person? Or the greatest internet hoax of the century? This was just part 1 of the KFK Files. The rabbit hole goes much, much deeper into what happens right before the year 2048. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss part 2 and part 3, where we uncover the rest of his chilling predictions. Leave a comment below. What do you think KFK was trying to warn us about? The clock is ticking. See you in the future.